Hello, everyone. So we are going to start the Anyone Python Season 1, Episode 5. So in this episode, we are going to start really the computer programming. So with the functions and decomposition. So we will learn what is a function and what is a decomposition. Actually, though, we have used the function a lot before, whether or not you realize in Python. Somebody said the Python itself is the or combination of the functions. So it's anything that you are using in Python is actually functions. So we will see what is a function today and what is the decomposition. Decomposition is the most important approach. Any program language, but you are going to start with decomposition. So through the decomposition, you can start your programming. You can create your own application. So we will see how we can use such a decomposition technique to create the function. Eventually, that will be the Python programming. Okay, so this is what we are going to learn today in this episode. First, I'd like to introduce some bunch of languages. So natural language, math language, and computer language. So we will see why we need to understand such a language. And we will quickly review the first carol program that we have done the last time. Do you remember? The carol is moving and turn left and turn right. And then by when carol is moving, if there's a beeper, we pick and put beeper like that. So we will quickly review such a first carol program. Then today's problem is the pothole problem. So I'm going to introduce that pothole problem. To solve that problem, so we can use the decomposition technique for the computer programming technique. Then such a decomposition technique can create the several functions. So we will see what is a function. Then if we have a time, so I'd like to introduce some very basic programming style. So just like the writing, so when you write your essay or the report, so each person, each student has the different style of the writing. So same thing in the programming. So even though you are solving the same problem as your friend, but surprisingly, all student is a different the code, different programming, because each student has the different programming style. So like the different characteristic personality. So, but there are general suggestion. It's not rule, but it's a suggestion for good programming styles. So I'm going to introduce some very basic, because it's almost the first step of the program language experience. So I'm not going to introduce the whole bunch of programming style. Instead, some very basic program style that I'm going to introduce today, if we have a time. Okay, so let me change our screen to introduce our first topic of the episode. So that is I think this. Yes, so this is my iPad. So I'm going to use this one for our discussion. And this. So who is a user of a computer? It's a user, right? So the mostly, not always is the human being, but mostly the person, human, can use computer. But before we discuss about such a computer program language, so what is the most important, the characteristic functions, role of language? So like the Korean language, the English language, so each people, each nation, each culture has their own language, spoken language or written language. We call such a language as the natural language. So we have the natural language. So for between and several among the person. So what is the main purpose of the language? Have you ever thought about the role of the language, human language? I believe the most important the part of the language is, even though you are using the language for the uh, sharing your emotion or the something, the feeling or the journaling or history, but most important part is, yes, it's the communication. So because of that, the communication. So think about the animal, like the chimpanzee or the monkey. So even they are communicating each other. And dolphin and even the insect, like the grasshopper. So they need to communicate each other. They are using something sound or signal. And then if the needs of the communication are complicated, they try to make a different sound, and eventually that will be the human language. So then if we have history of the spoken language, we try to keep record that, then we have the written language. So that is the human language, that is the natural language. So main purpose of the language is for the communication. Okay, then the people, once the people can communicate each other with the human language or natural language, they try to communicate with they try to know about the nature, our nature. So we want to know, so why the sky is blue. We want to know why the sunset and the astronomy and what the speed. So we try to know about that is the kind of the first question of the philosopher. So long time ago, the Greek or the Roman, they want to know what is the very basic element of our nature, and what is the very basic element of the philosophy. So at that time, the people think about the nature to further communication. So one of them, there are many different approaches to understand the nature, but one of them is the mathematics. So a lot of people, the philosopher, they try to use the math. So number or something equation can represent our nature. So they eventually use something algebra and equation and solve the equation. Then that is the algebra. Sometimes we can use the length and angle and their combination. It's a geography. So that is the algebra. The that if we are using the equation, that is the algebra, and also we are going to use something trigonometry, okay, geometry. So that is another the area of the mathematics, the geometry. So that is a math. So math is the kind of language. So math is the kind of language to know about the nature. It's kind of the communication between the nature and the human being. So that is the mathematics. It's kind of a language, I believe. Then there is a computer nowadays. So we want to know about the computer, and eventually we want to use the computing resource power. Okay, computing resource power. So which means I'm going to ask the computer, please calculate the 1 plus 1. Well, please calculate the sine, cosine, tangent, and please calculate nowadays like the deep learning. So what is this? Is it the bottle or the cat or a dog? So we can use the computer to solve our real life problem. At that time, we can use computer program language. So that is the computer, the programming, the language. So all of this actually for what? It's a communication. So it's used for the communication purpose. So, but unfortunately, the human being does not know much about the nature itself. The human being does not know much about the computer itself. Instead, they want, even the human being, do you know how many different languages? So you know the English because you are taking this course, and you know the Korean, you know the Chinese, you know the Japanese, but even the language genius, those person know the 5 to 6, 7 different languages. But how many different languages we have? There are so many different, too many to know all the languages. So only few languages, sometimes one or two, or at most 5, 6 different languages. We don't know all the languages. So the people would write. So it's the same problem in the math. It's the same problem in the computer program language. So the people think about, is there any way to know the easy way to know the other person or the nature and the computer program language? So they make such a different language standard. So how can make them standard? Like using most such a language. In human language, we try to use the English the most, right? That's true. So we can translate the language into the English. So that is a reason the English is one of the most important human language. And what about the nature? So math, actually, when you see the mathematics, the equation, their notation is very close to what? The English. So it's an English style. Even the logical, the flow, like the definition and proof and the theorem. So such a logical, the representation is also the similar as what used in the English. So math also adapt, employ the use of English for the notation. And what about the computer program language? So computer use machine language. As we discussed before, the computer use is very close to what? 0 or 1. It's a binary number, and it's a machine language. But what about us? Human being can understand this? Probably not. So there are few the people who can directly use the machine language, but most of people, including me, so I don't understand the machine language itself. So 0 or 1 binary code is very hard to understand. Then at that time, we can use the human language, like the English. So we can make the high level program language, for example, the Python. So when you see such a Python is very close to the English. And also, one more thing is that these program languages also get the benefit of the math. So that is the reason when you are using when you learn the computer program language, it is really, really helpful if you use English and also mathematical background. So if you have the math background and also if you are familiar with the English, also when you read the textbook, programming textbook, the English is much easier for you to understand the concept of the program language. So that is the reason I'm offering this class in English, and also I suggest to use the Python textbook or the C++ textbook written in English. So that is really helpful. Also, when the people make the program languages like the Python, they have used the math concept. For example, today we are going to learn the function. So function is actually came from the mathematics. So if you want to know, or if you learn about the computer program language, especially Python, Java, such high-level language, so math definitely is good for you, and also the English is very, very helpful. So today, when we learn about the decomposition, which is a very important and very basic strategy when you are doing the programming, so eventually we are going to create such a function. So it will be really, one more time, the good idea. when you start your program language, computer program language, if you have the background in the mathematics, and also the use the based on English, it will be really, really helpful. So let's go back to our today's main topic, which is the path or problem. Okay. So today we are going to see the path or problem for the function and decomposition. Before that, I'd like to review what we learned in the last class. So as I suggest you, please use the two important the software. One is internet browser, and definitely you are watching the Zoom, and also from now on in this episode and also the following episode, the PyCharm is very important. So to follow my instructions. So last class we set up the PyCharm for Python programming, and we download the anyone Python zip file and copy to the anyone Python folder. Then we unzip like this. So we have the bunch of files that we are going to use. So we create the project. How can we create the project? So it's open, then click the anyone Python folder. Then you will have the anyone Python SMU the project. You can from now on double click because you already did before. So this is our PyCharm. So you are able to see the PyCharm, the windows from your the Zoom, and also please turn on, start your PyCharm program software. Then you guys can follow me. Okay, so the first the carol. This is our the code that we have done the last time. If you do not know what I'm doing, so please watch the last episode and set up your PyCharm project and start the first carol, the program. So this is the first carol program. So one more time, the Python program has the three parts. One is import. So what is an import? So we are going to use existing library or package, the program. It's not my code, but somebody already create the program. So Carol was developed by the people in Stanford University. They developed the Carol, the Stanford Carol program. So we are going to use their program by importing. The second part is the DEF. So today we are going to see what is the meaning of DEF. You can just understand this is the main function. So in main function, we are going to create the program. So you can code over here. So you can code over here. Then the third part is this part. So you don't have to touch anything during anyone Python season 1, but later, if you are familiar with the Python program, then you are able to modify here. This part is the main. So main is here. So main will be run like this. So that's what we learned the last time. Two important things, or three. One is this is called what? It's a command. So command will not be executed. It will not run. It's not the part of the Python program. Instead, it's for your understanding. It's a description. So command is very, very important to understand the later. So if you do not include any command, you don't know what program is for. So you don't know. So you can describe your program on your command. So line by line command is the hashtag. So you can use the hashtag at the beginning for your one line one-line command. We will see also example of such a command later. Then, very important thing, second important thing is this one. So this is called colon. So if you see the colon means there will be what? This is called what? Code block. So code block will be started if you have such a colon. So for example, this main function should have the code inside. So this is a code block. So at the time you can use the colon. So for example, here another colon here. So it's if. We will learn the if later. So if has a code block over here. So you can specify the code block using colon. If you miss the colon, it will be error. Okay. So this is the colon, and colon indicate the starting the code block. Then how can we make the code block? Then we can use indentation. So this is called the indentation, line up like this. If the command has the same indentation, same the align, then it's in the same code block. So they are kind of family. They are the running together one by one from the beginning. This one, then this one, and this one, and this one. Then for the indentation, do you remember? How can you make the indentation? 4 spaces. Sometimes it may be different, but in this, the most people who are using the Python, they are using 4 space the indentation. So don't forget the 4 space indentation. If you are using IDE like this, the Python, if you enter, for example, let me clear, then here. So here just write the move. Then if you want, it's automatically line up. This is the auto indentation is provided. If you are using just the simple editor, it may not. At that time, you can use the 4 space, 1, 2, 3, 4. Then you can type the move, the command like that. Okay, what if you type the command over here? This is not part of this main function. This is the different one. So this is not in the same code block. Okay, so we are going to erase. So after you finish your code, the next step is run the program. There are 2 ways to run the program. One is you can use the run over here. Do you see the run menu? Or if you see the green arrow 1, green arrow 2, you can click just the green arrow, then it will run like this. Then you will see the carrot, the word. Then you can click run the program. Then very nice. Okay, very good. This was the second problem. So the put people. Then what if I wanna use the terminal? You can click the terminal over here. Then Python, if you are using MacBook, always Python 3. Don't forget Python 3. Then the file name is E04, the first carol.py. Then you can enter, and it will be the same program like this. Okay, you can run the program. If you want to speed up, you can little bit speed up, then you can save your time also. Okay. Then if you want to use if you are using the Windows Pi or just Python, okay, that's the only difference between macOS and the Windows. Okay, everybody can follow. Why don't you, for your warm up, why don't you run the last episode program? Then you are ready for today's one. Okay. Are you ready? Then we will move to the next one, today's. So today's problem is called the fill pot hole problem. So fill pot hole. So Imagine when you drive after the winter, like the spring season. The spring season, when you drive, you can see sometimes the road is bumpy. Okay, so like for example, the road is there is a hole like this. During the winter, or the rain, the asphalt is the sunk like this. So it's a hole. So we need to fill up this part. This is called the fill part hole. So we have the same problem in Carol's world. So you can see that this one, the Carol's world, the Carol expects something like this, the flat area. But unfortunately, there is a hole like this. So we need to fill the hole. How? We have this beeper. So we can put beeper in the hole, then the Carol can move nicely. So how can we solve the problem? Let's start. So it's not complicated. So we can start the program. Then clear. So before we start writing the code, you can think about how we can solve the problem. So Carol is right now 1,2 this position. So Carol can move to here. So move. Then the 2 put beeper over here. Carol need to what? Turn right. So however, there's no turn right. How can we make the Carol turn right? Yes, the 3 times of what? Turn left. So if you turn left, then the Carol is turn right. Then the Carol move is facing to south, the bottom, then the move. Then when Carol is here, we can put beeper like this. Then go back, turn left, and move, and move. Then we can solve the problem. Okay, so can we make the code using the Python? So let's start from the beginning one more time for your understand, and you can follow me. So why don't you start the Python? If you already did the last episode, you may see this project. Okay, so we are going to use the same project until the end of the annual Python. So you can, if you cannot see this one, please go back to the last episode, then set up this. Okay, how can we set up? Download the file and unzip under the annual Python, then start the open and specify this folder, unzip folder. Okay, so if you can see this, you are ready, click. So when you open this one first time, you may not see any file. So it's like a blank. So from left-hand side, sometimes if you cannot see anything like this, your project is over here. The left slide bar, left bar, then click, then you can see the list of files. Among them, today's problem is a fill part hole. Oh yes, there is a fill part hole. So you can just click, double click, then you are able to see the program. Always 3 part. So import, you don't have to touch. If you don't have to touch, this is called the main program. So what you're gonna do is you are going to add your code over here. So don't forget, pass is not needed here. So we need to remove the pass. Then you can start the code. Let's start the program together. So how can you solve the fill part hole problem? You can just type. The first step is the Carol is moving, right? So Carol is moving like this, right? So we can move. So move. Then next step is, oh, there's an error. It's a spelling error. Move. Okay, very nice. Then Carol need to turn right. Okay, but there is no turn right. So how can we make a Carol turn right? Yes, the 3 times turn left. Turn left. And one more time, turn left. And one more time, turn left. Okay, then after turn right, that is the turn left, turn left, turn left, you can move down, so move. So far so good. After move, you can put beeper. So you don't have to wait until the end of the program, but it is a very, very good idea if you run the program step by step. So even though your program is not done yet, so let me run the program at this time. Okay, so how can we run? Just click this and see what's, this is a field path tool. So we need to run the field path tool program. That is a run and run, and we have this one. Because we have the many program over here, you need to select this. Then you can see this. Okay, then run the program. Yes, the carol is exactly working that we want. So it's a move and turn left, turn left, turn left, turn right, and move and put beeper. So we can continue the program. So here, so carol is here, so we need to turn left to go back, the move. Okay, then, not move first, it's the turn left, right? Yes, and move. Let's check whether this one is correct or not. So we can run the program. Right now it's E05. Yes, episode 5. So we can run the program. Let's see. And put beeper. Something wrong. Because carol is here, right? We need to turn around, which means we need to do the 2 times of turn left. Yes, very nice. So we need to fix the problem. So even before we complete the problem, we need to run the program the many times, step by step, which is called the unit test. Unit by unit, we can test the code. So this is really good habit. So then we can run the program again. Then run the program. Yes, it's turn around, very nice. Then we can, next thing is a turn right, right? Turn right. So turn right, how can make the turn right? Turn left and turn left. And also one more turn left. Okay, then after you turn right, move one more time. So this is our code. Okay, then how do I check? Run the program and see whether this is correct or not. Okay, run the program, see the bottom and turn around and turn right and then move. Yes, so this is exactly what we want. You can see the after is the same as this. Then we finally solve the first problem. Very nice. So please complete your code. Okay. So this is my code, and your code may be different, but pretty much almost the same as mine. So why don't you try to run your program? I'm going to wait a couple more minutes. Okay. Let me share the code this time. Okay. Please solve the first problem, today's problem, field path tool problem. So this is my solution, but you can try to solve this problem yourself, by yourself. Okay, what happened? So is it working? So if your program doesn't work or error, so don't worry, you can follow the after the class, you can follow the programming or the instruction again, or if you have any question, you can ask always using the chat box, then we will help. Okay, but even though you solve the problem, so when you are doing the programming like this, did you feel any the annoying things, something weird, or something you are lazy? What do you think? For example, when I'm doing this programming, whenever we turn right, like this one, 3 times turn left, 3 times turn left. We need to repeat. Actually, most of the computer science guy, computer scientist, or the programmer, they really hate. They don't like the repetition. Repeated. It's really, we are lazy, so we don't want to type 3 times of turn left. If we can make the one nice thing like the turn right, then it will be much simpler, right? What do you think? So we can use the turn right here again. Whenever we have the turn right, so we don't have to type 3 times, just 1 time turn right. Also, there is one more thing. Can you find one more thing, such a boring job or the repeated job? Yes, that is this part. This is kind of what? It's a turn around. So later, if we want to use if we want to make the carrot turn around, we don't have to type turn left. Instead, we can use the turn around. So can you make the things new one? Can you? That is called the what? Yes, that is called the function. So we are going to use function that eventually create the new function over here. Before we start, so I'd like to first introduce what is really function. Okay. So for example, so when did you hear about the function first time? Probably your math class in the elementary school or the middle school. So I learned the math. I learned such a function in a math class. I think it's probably the 5th grade or 6th grade in the elementary school. At the time, the math teacher taught me the function like this. The function is like this one. What is this? This is the black box. So we don't have to worry about the inside, what's going on. We can just put the value. If I put the value 1, output is 2. If I put the value 2 from the input, output is 4. If I put the number 3, output is the 6, and so on, and so on. So what happened inside? Inside, there is a multiply by 2 operation. So when we are using this box, black box, we don't have to worry about inside. This box always multiply by 2. So this black box is called the function. So if we are using such a function, we can make the very complex operation inside happen. We don't have to worry about. Once we make this black box, what we need to do is just put the value over here. Then it will be output. So this is called the domain in function, and this is called the range. In computer, we are going to use this idea. Okay. In math, this is what? y equal f of x. So x is the domain and y is the range, like this. So we solved many problems using this the function equation. Okay, well, as I introduced the first beginning of this episode, so computer program language adapt use a lot of such a math and also human language. So why not using this into the programming? If there are repeated job like the turn left, turn left, turn left, why not create the function for turn right? So this turn right has what? Inside what happened? Inside what happened? It's a turn left and turn left 3 times like this. So we can create a function in computer programming. Then we can use such a function. When we are saying the using function means in computer is call. We can call the function. We can call the function. So sometimes this function has input. This is input, this is output. Sometimes function does not have input, only output. Sometimes function has input, no output. Sometimes function does not have input, does not have output, only run this kind of thing. So you can use any types of function to make the step simple. Okay, let's go back to the program. Then how can we create the function? In Python, function is very simple. So you can use the def. So def is the command to create your function. Then you can create your function like your name is the turn right. You can put the turn right over here. Then always use the left and right parentheses. Do you remember? So the last few episodes, we have used exit. We have the many functions. At that time, we always have the left and right parentheses like that. Why? So this one will be used for input. So if there is no input, just blank like that. If there is an input like the 1, we can use left and right and the 1. Sometimes multiple value, comma, you can use the comma like that. But right now, we are not going to use any input, just like the empty, the input. So we can use the left and right parentheses. Then followed by, what is this? Colon. So colon means what? You may expect the code block. So this one is code block. Code block is what? In a black box like this. So you can put any command, anything happen inside the black box will be command in code block. So code block makes your function box, black box. Then write the command over here. Okay, then how can we make the new, for example, turn right? So turn right, so we are going to start what? def. So this is a command and space. So give the name, turn right, and left and right parentheses. Don't forget this, colon, always colon. Then enter indentation, how many space? 1, 2, 3, 4. Then turn and left. One more time, turn left. How many? 3 times, one more time. Turn left. So this is your, what? The new function is created, okay? So let's back to our programming. Okay, here. So if you want to create the function, so I want to create the function, then line up here, no, because it's inside the main. So you can create the function, line up with the DEF. First, the no indentation. Okay, so DEF, we can just follow this one. Okay, turn, new function name, right. And don't forget, left and right parentheses followed by colon. Then enter. Automatically give the full space indentation. That's the benefit of using IDE PyCharm. Then type the black box inside, turn left. There's no colon over here because it doesn't need any code block. Okay, just the next comment. Oh, there's an error, so red line and turn left. You can see the red underline because there might be mistake here. So like this. So DF turn right, we can create a turn right. Okay, then we don't have to type the 3 times. Instead, we are going to replace this part into this. So we can just call the function. How can you call the function? This one should be, this one is better, right? Turn right. So you can call the turn. It's already there, so I'm going to type turn right, right? So turn right, instead of typing turn left, turn left, turn left, we can use a turn right, right? And also this one, instead of 3 times of that, turn right, like this. Very simple. Our program is simpler, right? It's better than the last time, but it should be running correctly. We can run the program. So just click. Let's see what's going on. Run the program and turn right and going back to here and then move. Yes. So you need such a function. We can make the same program. It's much better. Look, so you can see the code and you can understand the move, turn right, move, and put people. What about this one? Can we do the same thing? Can we create the function? Yes. So what kind of function? We can create the turn around function instead of this. Then why don't you create df turn around? Don't forget the colon is it makes the code block. So then we can fill up the command for black box. So turn around need 2 times of turn left. One more time, turn left. Looks good. Then we can call the function. Instead of this one, we can call the function. So turn around is already here. You can double click. Then it's much better, right? But it should be running correctly. So we can run the program. Yes. So, and turn right and put people, turn left, turn around, turn right. Yes, it's working very well. So what's the benefit of using such a function? See the code. It's very easy to understand and read. So we can intuitively understand move, turn right, move, and put people, turn around, move, turn right, then move. Okay? Looks good. So this is the benefit of using such a function. Okay, then function can, so you can see this one, the if, as I mentioned at the beginning of this class, the main role of the if, this part is calling the main. So this. So main is going on and move. Turn right is here. Turn right is here. So we can call the function inside the function. Then move, put people, turn around. We can call the function inside the function, like this. Similarly, let's take a look at this one. Main, go to moon. Our goal is to go to moon. Then, where's the go to moon? Go to moon is here. Build a spaceship. We need to first build a spaceship. Where the spaceship? Where the spaceship is here. Okay, then we can put beeper. So, which means the function can call the inside the function. So, using this one, when you have the problem. So, for example, the previous problem. So, like this. The problem is this one. Then, when you see such a problem, first you can understand if there is any hole. In case of a hole, what you need to do is turn right and move and put beeper, turn around, move and back and turn right and move. So you can make the first move. Then if there is any hole, then you can fill the hole. So you can start the program. So for example, here. So you can start the program like the first move. So when you have the problem, so if there is a hole, then fill the part hole. So you can fill part hole. If you fill part hole, then you can move. That's it. That should be the program. Then what we need to do is we can create the fill part hole. So you can use the def, then fill part hole. Okay. Then how can you fill part hole? First, you can turn right, right? Turn right, then move, and then put beeper, and turn around, okay? Then move, then turn right, right? So then this one should be this. So when you have the problem, we can understand the problem as the move. If there is any hole, like the move, then there is a hole, then fill part hole. So this one is decomposed. We can take out the problem, fill part hole, and make the fill part hole problem. Solve the fill part hole function. Then you can turn right, move. So if you have turn left, then decompose this one and create the turn right the function. And the turn around the function is also. So then you can easily solve the problem. Also, you can easily understand your code. So this is called the decomposition. So using the function, you can decompose the code, then create the number of functions. Then that is your solution. That is the programming. Okay. Then see whether this one is running correctly. Run the program and this. Yes, so it's running correctly. So this is the power or benefit of using function for decomposition. Okay, so very nice. So please try to create your functions like this. Then we can solve the challenging problem. Okay. So this is a decomposition. So we can move up to the hole, then the fill part hole. So here there is underscore. So it's naming. It's fine. So how many functions we create? The 3 functions: fill pattern, turn around, and turn right. Okay. So while you are solving this problem, I'd like to introduce some very basic programming style. Okay, so this is just a style. It's not the syntax or rule, but in general, people try to follow such a style. Then it's easy to understand and can work together. First, your goal of this program is at the beginning, I mentioned about the human languages. So program language or the math, they want to follow the human language, especially English style. So your code should be understood by the human. It's called the readability. So readability is very important. So if your code is turn left, turn left, turn, what is a turn left, turn left, turn left? That is a turn right. At that time, you can create the function like this by decomposing. Okay, so that is the one command rule. It's really important. So your code should be readable. So high readability. So that is the first the style you can follow. Then don't forget the command. So here we have the multiple command over here. So this one is what? The multiple command. So multi-line command, we can use 3 times of quotation mark. But what if the single line? So it is strongly recommend. So using hashtag. So this is the carol, the fear of pothole. Then you can understand. So this one is for what? And carol, turn right. And what about this? Carol, turn around. Okay, then it's much easier to understand the code, right? So this is this function is for carol fill of one pothole. This one is for the turn right. This one is for the turn around. So it is recommended put the one line of the command for each function, the beginning. And the same thing, the line of command using hashtag for the one function. Same thing for this one and command. So there is a command that explains the next one, like this. So don't forget to put the multi-line command and usually one-line command for the what? One function. Okay, the last thing. So you can see I named the field pattern. So for example, I have a question. So can I name this like the A? And this one is also A. What do you think? Is it running or not? Is it error? We can run the program. Let's see whether this one is running. Yes, it's running correctly. It's exactly same as the last one. Then what's the difference? A, what's the meaning of A? We don't know. So it's a much better fill, pot, hole. Okay, and this one is the fill, pot, hole. So please make the name of function meaningful. Okay, not just A1, A2, or the C1, C2. Instead, meaningful name. Okay, in other words, the descriptive name is important. So this is a naming rule. So there are different ways of writing the naming rule. It's called a variable name. So Python like this underscore. There's no space, so we are using underscore. So this is called the snake style naming case. Okay, we will see later more details. But you can use instead of space, you can use the underscore. Then you guys can make a very nice program. Okay, so this is your homework. Why don't you solve the problem of the two-horse problem? Two-horse problem. This is your homework. Not very difficult because we already decomposed our problem into the several functions. You can just use the functions. Okay, so this is your homework. And thanks so much for your attending. So today we learned the very, very important, most important part of the programming, which is called the decomposition with the functions. Okay, thanks so much for your attending. We will see in the next episode. Thank you.